And we are live. Hello, guys, and welcome to another fuck knows live.
Sorry.
Welcome to another Boleyn Paranormal chat show where things get paranormal and then get rude for some reason.
And we say paranormal way too many times.
Hell yeah, we do. As always, guys, I'm your host, Helena. That's the missing link. We have our guests, Brian and Dennis, with us. Say hi to everyone, guys.
Hey, guys.
Hello.
So, how are you?
Just fine. How are you doing?
Yeah, we're good.
Yep, we're good.
We are good.
Just wearing hats and stuff. How are you, Dennis?
Oh, I'm just peachy. I'm more confused than a two-peckered billy goat, but we'll get past that.
Is that a goat with two dicks?
I'm guessing.
Say again?
Is that a goat with two dicks?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay, cool.
a two-peckered billy goat.
Talk to them because I've got a
And I'm more
breathing.
confused than one.
So, right, you're basically just talking, and it's live on YouTube. That's what you have to know.
There we go.
Right, so
Awesome.
Right, so we have Ryan and Dennis, and they're here to talk about the 360 houses, which is a haunted location, obviously, because, well, that's what they do here. So we might as well quickly start off with a basic overview of what the 360 houses are. So, Ryan, you're basically like the proprietor of this location, so why don't you start off by telling us something about it?
Well, it's hard to know where to start since, well, there are two houses on the property. There's the brick house, the brick rancher, and the log cabin. The brick rancher is no longer available to us at the moment. So, I don't really want to talk about that location too much. The log cabin was built in 1982, and it was supposed to be a model log home for a business that my grandfather was trying to start up, building log homes for people. He built like 4 or 5 different model log homes, and this is one of them. And it was originally supposed to be a barbecue restaurant, but that never came to fruition. The log cabin itself has had many different variations. It's been a hair salon. It's been a doggy biscuit, like gourmet doggy biscuit, like place, gift shop. It's been a gift shop. It's been a doll shop. And it actually sits on the site of a pretty big Civil War battle that took place.
Amazing. Ryan, I have a question. Have you got the YouTube video playing in the background?
No, I got mine on mute.
Awesome. Bit of weird feedback going on, guys. Really sorry. So, Dennis, tell us how you're involved with the
Ryan and I have pretty much been investigating together for, let's say, coming on 5 years. And when the decision was made that we need to just go check these two properties out that his family owns and has been sitting there for a while, we just partnered up once we realized, holy crap, there's a lot of shit here. We need to open this up, see what we can find, see if we can advance the paranormal field itself. So that's how I got involved with it.
I mean, so roughly how many investigations would you guys say you two have personally done at the location?
Oh my God. I mean, yeah. Probably over 100.
Yeah, we're probably right around that triple-digit number.
So you know
I've never gone there. I've never gone there and not gotten something from the house. It's always given me something. Even if I show up to clean or do something like during the day, I'll go and I'll ask some questions and I'll usually get an EVP. I'm more surprised when I don't get something than when I do.
Yeah.
The first time Dennis and I actually went to the houses, we went to the brick house, and I was asking him, like, I want to see if he could feel anything in the house. And while we were downstairs, even upstairs, he said he felt a female presence when we first walked in the door. We went to the basement of the brick house, and both of us heard with our own ears residual scream, a disembodied voice of a female screaming upstairs.
That is crazy. I mean, we've been like investigating with you over Skype and we got stuff. The location is so active that it's crazy.
Oh yeah, you know all about it.
It is an insane location. I just wish I could be there in person.
That'd be very difficult.
Yeah, it would be. So tell us a bit about the Civil War battle that took place. You guys must know something about it.
Dennis can take that one. He knows more about it. The Civil War battle.
They had Civil War battle there? Holy crap.
Apparently.
I know. I'm a smart ass. All right, so here's what we've got. Basically, let's see, what is it? 2/10 of a mile away, which I could throw a rock and hit the property, called Bethesda Church. From May 28th to June 4th or 5th, there was the battles of Bethesda Church. Well, according to the Confederacy notes anyway. Now, the Union notes would have listed it as the Battle of the Old Church because they didn't know the name of the property. The Union was set up about a mile or less north of the houses. And within a mile and a half over that 5 to 7 day period, we can account for 2,264 men that were either killed, wounded, captured, or just missing. The Union had 2 cannons set up that were aimed directly on the property, basically aiming towards the Confederate troops that were attacking the Union lines coming from Bethesda Church. So it was right, I mean, looking at some of the maps that I found, they were basically aimed right at the doorstep. We have found cannonball shrapnel in the backyard, in the woods behind the house. There falls right in line with all the documentation that we've researched and found. But surrounding this particular piece of land, like I said, it's 7.2 acres. You have, as the crow flies, about 3.5 miles away, you have Gaines Mill and Cold Harbor. Those were both very deadly battles. Everybody knows about Gettysburg. Everybody is under the impression that Gettysburg is and it's been stated as the deadliest battle of the Civil War, but that's only as a number of deaths. Now, if you want to go on a per capita, Cold Harbor was truly the deadliest battle. Gaines Mill, they sent in 156,000 roughly. There were 53,000 deaths, I believe. So it accounts for about a 30% death rate at Gettysburg. However, Cold Harbor, that's only a few miles away from our property, had an 80% death rate. A lot of the field notes and journals that we've been able to uncover, when they would write home and say that, you know, we're being dispatched to here or there, most of them that said we're being sent to Cold Harbor admitted that we're being sent to a certain death. And they knew it was just going to be that bloody. So on a per capita, Cold Harbor, 3 miles away, 3.5 miles away, is one of the bloodiest battles of the entire Civil War. Most of the men would have traversed the land that we are on to get to Gaines Mill and Cold Harbor. So these men crossed that land knowing they were going to their death.
That's heartbreaking.
That's mental.
That's heartbreaking. Think about that.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about some of the battles that have taken place throughout the history of the world, you don't think about there being 50% loss of life.
No.
Really.
No, you don't think
Um, just out of curiosity, Ryan, obviously your family built the cabin. Do you remember there being anything discovered at that time, like when they were laying foundations or anything like that?
Well, I mean, when they built the cabin, I was 5 years old, and I didn't know anything about ghosts or anything like that. Honestly, if or any kind of history, I was watching, I was probably shitting my pants and watching Captain Kangaroo at the time. So, I mean, no, I didn't. I don't even think that my dad knew anything about the Civil War history that took place. Because when I brought home some of the bullets and artifacts we were able to find, brought them back to the office to show my dad, he was surprised. He had no idea that stuff was even back there.
that's mad. Just building something, not realising, and then the sun comes out and goes, found eggs.
I mean, they could have found some stuff, and just discarded it or done something like that. I mean, I have no idea. I think Dennis, though, got an EVP of someone's a voice saying that they were killed in Gaines Mill. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, I had asked, when we were actually standing on the front porch, I asked, can you tell me what battle you were in, died in? And it's a direct mail response that's undeniably saying Gaines Mill. If I
You'll have to send that.
I'll see if I can track it back down. I'm sure I've got it somewhere in the system. You have to understand, I've got a 1 terabyte hard drive that is pretty much packed with all of the investigations I've done over the years. So normally they're in categorized by location. Trouble is there's so many different dates. It'll take me a little while, but I'll see if I can find it.
Awesome. So do you guys find, because as you guys know, there's a lot of military locations, so do you guys find that with the military connections, the activity is increasing?
I'm sorry, I don't understand you.
Me either. It broke up.
I'll move closer. Do you guys find that with the location having a military connection, do you think that increases the energy of the location?
I think,
Not necessarily.
yeah, I think
Not necessarily just with the military involvement in it, but any place that there's been a large number of traumatic events like that, we definitely find more energy.
Definitely. What were you going to say, Ryan?
I was going to say, I think it does, just because of not necessarily the military, but the fact that there are so many deaths on that land. And I guess injury. There is definitely a darkness attached to the land itself.
Yeah. There's definitely something in truth about that. I mean, the log cabin itself is beautiful. It really is. And it's hard to believe that a location as beautiful as that could have such dark energy revolving around it.
I mean, in terms of the energy there, do you think that is purely down to like the soldiers, etc., that have lost their lives either on that land or near that land? Or do you think there's something?
I mean, there are two different kinds of energy for me. There's the energy inside the brick house, which is super dark, and then the energy inside the log cabin itself, which is pretty, it's not as bad in certain places, like downstairs. When you first walk in, it feels like home. But you go into certain spots in the log cabin, upstairs, in the log cabin is there's a different feel to downstairs. The woods itself has a different feel. It's all just kind of compartmentalized.
Because obviously, in the brick houses, in the brick house, obviously there was that murder that took place in 1979, and obviously at that point, the log cabin was where the log cabin, that part of the land of the brick house.
You're breaking up again. I couldn't hear that last part.
The log cabin, is that on the land of the brick house?
Yeah, it's all the same parcel.
Yeah, so obviously, so before the log cabin was built, where it is now was part of the land that belongs to the brick house.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you guys get the spirits from the brick house joining you in the log cabin then?
Yeah.
Yes. I think they do move back and forth. I don't think they recognize that there's a boundary or a difference in the structures. I think they realize that, I think they know it's all just one open area. And the more we try talking to them in the log cabin, the more we're realizing that some of the voices we're capturing in the log cabin sound just like the voices that were captured in the brick rancher, other than the little dark bastard that's in the log cabin or brick rancher. And I think he even visits the log cabin from time to time just from the feeling I get.
That's the one that doesn't like you, isn't it?
And that would be the one that doesn't like me, yes.
So what
That would be the one that actually
don't you tell us?
stepped up in front of me and startled the hell out of me.
I'm trying to see before. What you do? Why don't you actually tell us about the spirit that doesn't like you? Because we all like ghosts that don't like people.
I didn't really understand the question. It was kind of breaking up, hit and miss.
It's because he's got the YouTube video on in the background.
Yes, I mean there's a spirit that doesn't like you. What I was asking, tell us about that spirit.
Oh, that would be the little dark bastard that's in the basement in the brick rancher. I have a feeling that, and I'm very cautious and skeptical to say this, but I honestly think there is a demonic entity on that land. I think it hangs out in the brick rancher most of the time. I don't know that it's there all the time. I think it does move around the land as well. But it doesn't like me because I will taunt it. I will call it all sorts of names that are not polite. If I were to speak to a female in public like this, I would probably have almost every male around beat my ass. But it's what you have to do from time to time to get it to react. And it has reacted several times.
So you're not shy on taunting them then?
I mean, now if I go into a home, all right, like the young lady who I believe is there is Melissa, I don't taunt her with the utmost respect. If I go into a private residence, I speak to them with the utmost respect. I understand that they are just, they're somebody's mother, father, brother, sister, aunt, whatever. I don't think it is or ever has been human. It doesn't deserve my respect.
There's nothing wrong with taunting something that taunts you first. Because I know for certain that he doesn't like you. I've been on Skype with you guys and he really doesn't like you.
It doesn't. I'll give you a prime example. We had a gentleman named Bill. Hell, I'll just say it. Bill Hartley joined us there one night, and he had a Spirit Box app running, and it kind of left his jaw hang because it spent 5 full minutes saying "fuck you, Dennis." fuck Dennis, all kinds of nasty things. It spent 5 minutes just F-bombing me. Finally looked at me and he's like, man, I have never heard this thing go off on one person like this so much in my life. Do believe it has a little bit of a disdain for me.
Yeah,
Yes, you could have it.
the entity doesn't just affect you; it's affected a lot of other people.
Oh, most definitely.
Like season.
What sort of effect has the entity had on people in the past?
Well, we were at the same investigation that Dennis was talking about. I took a group downstairs to the basement, and we were just kind of goofing around a little bit, you know, talking, getting ready to do an EVP session. And one of the investigators, a 17-year-old girl who had been on investigations before, sat frozen, staring at the stairs leading down to the basement, and was crying. Her dad couldn't get her attention. I finally had to walk over to her and kind of shake her a little bit and say, "What's up?" She said, "Can you see it?" And she's like, tears are coming down her face. Kept saying, "It's staring at me. Can you see it? It's right by the stairs." I look over the stairs. I don't see anything. So I take her up. I kind of lead her upstairs and take her to Dennis, who's actually leading a group in the woods. And she later drew a picture of what she saw, and it was, you know, just really creepy. It's like a dark figure, this kind of standing on the steps, staring at her. And I think we've had more than one person describe the same exact thing that she saw, if I'm not mistaken.
That's amazing. Brian, have you ever encountered a dark spirit?
No.
No.
I've been there. I've gone to the house by myself to clean up stuff. I've been in the basement. I've tried talking to it. I've tried taunting. I've tried doing anything to get its attention, and you know, I've gotten some pretty decent EVPs from it. I think I got one that said "kill them both." I got one that said "I want to fucking kill you." Another one says "I'm bad as sin." I've got a EVP of a pig making a pig noise, an oinking sound.
Grunt.
Yeah, a pig grunting. Yeah, and I've gotten that in both houses.
That's amazing. I mean, you've sent some of the EVPs over to me, and I've listened to them, and they're crazy.
And those are
some of them are so clear, and it's such a small little location, like the building itself. To get the EVPs and the activity that's coming to this location is unbelievable. It really is.
Yeah, the thing that gets me is that it's so unassuming. You drive by these houses, you don't think anything of them. I mean, of course, you know, the log cabin is random because it's a log cabin in the middle of like our houses, so that's different. But if it wasn't for that, the brick house is just an unassuming house, just like every other house on the block, you know.
One question we had from people watching: has anyone ever used the Echo app?
That was the app I believe Bill Hartley was using. Oh, there is the guy. There is the creature that we saw that was seen in the basement.
Okay, Dennis,
you have to say something.
Have to say something so the camera goes to you.
Okay, well, I'm talking now. I'm not sure
Down a bit.
if it's actually working, but I'm trying to figure out how to see this. There we go. All right, so now I'm talking. I hope that's in the right place. But that's the creature that the young lady drew that she claimed that she saw behind the steps in the basement. And as you can see, that doesn't look exactly like a pleasant little SOB. But I have another piece of evidence that was submitted to us from a friend of ours named Rhonda. It's a still shot from a thermal that shows this same little bastard. And I'll flip over to that and let you see that one. But that's the drawing that the 17-year-old girl submitted to us 2 weeks after she had been there and freaked out like Ryan was describing just a moment ago. And give me 2 seconds and I'm going to show you the picture from the thermal. Let's see if I can get that to show right. We'll give the camera just a moment to adjust. I don't know if the camera is going to adjust right on it or not. Can you all see what that's actually showing, or is it just blurred out?
Right.
Yeah.
It's too bright.
Something, but I can't just can't make it out perfect.
I'll try to get it up there so it shows. It just wants to go all white.
Just wants to go
Cover
white.
my light. Doesn't want to show.
After we covered the light.
It doesn't want to show, but at some point in time, I will get authorization. I'll post it up onto the Cabinet 360 page and let you all see it.
Also, it's amazing that you've actually got a drawing of what someone saw and you've got evidence to validate that that's what they've seen.
It looks creepy as shit. Just saying.
It really does.
And let's see, Lori from Nova SPIS is asking, is that an app on cell phone? EchoVox is an app.
Yeah, I don't know if it's on Apple devices. I know it's on Android.
I think it's only Android.
I'm
not sure though.
But yeah, you can tell.
It's kind of similar to a spirit box, I guess. But
yeah, it sort of like mumbles sort of words. That's sort of the way I can describe it.
Yeah.
But a lot of teams had quite a lot of
success
success
with it.
with
We're definitely downloading it.
Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely.
Someone also asked. Hang on.
Hang on, guys. The chat's sort of crazy, and my phone's crashing, so I can't reply to any of you. But there you go.
I think this is about Melissa. Ryan, did you catch her humming in the rancher?
Do what? I'm sorry.
Did you catch Melissa humming? Or hear her?
I mean, we've caught a the voice of a little girl humming. But as far as we're for sure it's Lisa, we don't know. We did find out that she likes to be called Lisa. Let's guess what her family called her was Lisa. But yeah, I've gotten EVPs of a little girl saying as I walk in the front door. Yeah.
Little Miss.
Exactly. Exactly. I got a girl, an EVP of a woman saying, "Don't come in here." And then a grown woman saying, "Don't come in here," and another EVP of someone saying, "Watch your step" as I'm walking to the basement.
So some of the spirits there are looking out for you. I think they like you more because they're used to you.
Yeah, I think. I didn't really spend that much time there when I was growing up. I'd go every once in a while. I'd go out there if the sump pump stopped working and the basement flooded. I'd have to go and vacuum up the water, and so maybe they recognized me a little bit. But I've never really had too much of a problem there.
No. I did have a question, but I forgot what it was. So, how long have you actually been conducting investigations with that?
Since June last year.
What, yourself personally? Or?
Well, yeah. We did have a team come in like a year before to do a practice investigation, and they reported activity there. But I guess we were kind of busy at the time, so we didn't really follow up on it. But we had the houses just sitting there, and I figured the worst thing that could happen is we have a place to practice investigations. Even if there's nothing there, at least we have a place to train investigators who want to come with us.
Yeah.
So that's why I suggested, Dennis, why don't we go check it out and see if there's anything there. If not, we can try different theories, and see what works and see what doesn't. We wanted to make it like a paranormal laboratory, just trying different ideas and see what sticks.
What have you found to be really successful there, apart from like obviously catching EVPs?
I didn't get the first part of the question.
What have you found in terms of investigation techniques or different types of equipment have you found to be really successful there, apart from like capturing EVPs?
I'll let Dennis take this one.
Well, one of the things that we found is on video. I'm not one of the look at the orbs, look at all the spirits, blah blah blah. We have found that you can definitely differentiate between EMF going off and specific types of balls of light transferring across the room. So I'm working on narrowing down what exactly is an orb versus dust or bug or anything else. And it's simply based on the shape, the look, and the path or trajectory of the light ball itself. And some of the really cool ones, like Twisted Paranormal Society came in, Lyle and Tana Lotz and their team, and they set up their DVR system. One of the pieces of video they caught shows a ball of light form outside a window that has like winterizing plastic inside. You can look at the video and see that the window is closed because you can still see stickers on the window. Formed outside, came right through the window and shot right past the camera. That's probably one of the coolest pieces of evidence that I've seen as far as what's an orb, what's real, and what can be debunked as bullshit. I don't know about you, but I've never seen a piece of dust or a bug that can fly through and plastic and continue its flight.
No, Ryan, isn't that the one you said? Ryan.
Yeah, that's the one I sent you. The video I sent you.
Yeah, guys, it's unbelievable. It really is crazy. I mean, I've never seen an orb go through a window. I've never seen something that bright and that big go through a window. It's something that every investigator needs to catch.
And the cool part is that's not all that they caught, but that's their evidence. So hopefully we'll be able to show that some more of the stuff that they captured during their investigation. But there is more than that.
Lori, that one's not released to the public simply because it's not ours. And Twisted Paranormal Society, up by a PBS station, and I believe it's Charlottesville. So they're now broadcasting the Twisted Realm 60 house is due to be out in their second season. It takes quite a while for all the editing and everything else, but it will be on there. I have a clip of that footage, and Lori, when you and your team come down, I will share that with you. I'll show it to you. And pretty much like anybody else that's seen it, you're just going to kind of look at it and go, what the hell?
I did.
Now, the sad part is, this is all just, it's a video from Ryan's phone recording their DVR monitor. And I would say 5 minutes later, there was another one that was even larger and brighter that came through the wall. Instead of having a trajectory that's kind of rounded where it turned to go up the hallway, this came in and hit a direct 45-degree angle and turned. I don't know how to explain it. It just blows me away. I wish that video that we got was longer, but unfortunately, he had already stopped recording before we spotted that one, and we didn't go back to record later.
Out of all the rooms, in like obviously, if you do both houses, which one is like the best for paranormal activity?
Well, right now it's the log cabin because that's the one we can investigate.
I would say.
Being a smart
I
he's using his glasses to his full effect. No, over the course of your history with the location, what room is the best for paranormal activity? You can stick to the cabin. What room is the
What's
best?
the most haunted room in the cabin is what he's trying to say.
I would have to say they're on an equal par. I have not seen a full-bodied apparition in the Brick Rancher, but I did stay one night. I slept upstairs in the log cabin after the team had finished investigating, and somewhere around 3:30 or so, I was awakened by the feeling that I was being watched. Guys, there was an old man standing above me. He was standing there looking down at me. Arm laying up beside my head. When I rolled to grab my weapon, I rolled back to look at the old man. I was going to shoot him. I thought somebody had broken in the house, and there wasn't a damn soul in sight.
You know, I've been at the house, the log cabin, by myself doing evidence review, and the temperature would be moderate temperature, not too cold, not too hot, but and I talked to Helena about this, where the room would just get ice cold. I mean, but ghost cold.
Hashtag ghost cold.
Yeah, hashtag ghost cold, where it goes through you. It just overtakes you, and it pretty much comes out of nowhere. I check the vents. I check the walls to see if there's any kind of wind coming through. I check the windows to make sure they're closed tight. And it's just follows you around.
I remember you we were talking, and I said to you, my house is hashtag ghost cold, and you went, is that hashtag ghost cold here as well?
Yeah, I was at the log cabin doing a review.
Well, if you remember, Ryan, the one night that you and I were standing there while the other team was investigating, I don't know, 5 feet away from the fireplace, both of us had jackets on because we had been outside.
Mm-hmm.
And just all of a sudden, it got like unbearably cold right where we were standing.
Yeah.
For no apparent purpose.
And I think the heat was on in the house because it was middle of winter, so we had the heat going in the house, and we were wondering why it was so cold.
Dennis, you were talking about this old man that you were going to shoot. Can you describe him? Can you sort of estimate what period he was from?
Frankly, I would say he was probably from like the 40s or 50s. Grayish hair. Also, as I'm looking up at him, I would say his hair was pointed left. He was rather thin, kind of tall. And he just, I don't know, I wouldn't say that he had a menacing look about him. He just had that, who the hell are you? And why are you here? It was one of the stranger things that I dealt with. Now I've investigated all kinds of places. some of the darkest places that they've talked about. St. Albans Sanatorium, I've walked around in there in the dark by myself, and I haven't seen things like that prior to. I mean, to wake up and have somebody standing over you in an empty house that you know the doors are locked, strange. I mean, I didn't feel like an energy around me or anything. It was just, I thought there was a man standing there.
So, Dennis, how long have you been investigating for?
Full on investigating like I do now, probably 12 years.
Amazing. And what would your dream location be? If you could go anywhere, money's no object.
I definitely want to check out some of the European castles. That would be like, if I could take 6 months and just go travel and do investigations, it would have to be some of the European castles.
We're surrounded by castles where we live.
We are. Not just ones that still standing, but also ruins. They're everywhere.
They are everywhere. How about you, Ryan? Where's your dream location if money was no object?
Well, shit, my dream location is to come ghost hunting with you guys in England. What are you talking about?
Bitch, I know that!
Yeah, why even ask? You know what I want to do? Shit.
Yeah, but where in the UK? I know me. I know you want me. And that's, no, you're not involved.
I'm good, I'm sorry.
No.
Right.
Me and Ryan already had this discussion, you're not involved. But where in the UK, other than me, over than here, would you want to go?
Oh man, probably. I mean, it's always the Tower of London, but I don't think people can investigate there, anyways.
No, they don't let you.
Ryan, it's about $40 per person to visit during the day. So
probably some of those abandoned Air Force fields that you guys go to.
Ryan, I could take you to like 40 of them.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, there's RAF upward we haven't investigated yet.
My knees hurting. Sorry, I'm fidgeting. My knees hurting.
It's all good.
If I could do absolutely any location, would be a couple that would be right on the top of my list, and I think the royal family's private residence would be one of them.
Where, sorry?
That cut out.
I said if I could do absolutely any place in the world that I think the private residence in the royal family's castle.
What one?
What one? Windsor Castle?
You've got Windsor, you've got the Palace.
Buckingham Palace, St. James's Palace.
I don't know Buckingham Palace.
They don't own Hampton Court anymore.
They've got a load of castles. You have to pick one.
Windsor Castle is where the Queen spends most of the time when she's on the place.
But whatever the oldest damn one in that country is.
Windsor Castle.
Windsor.
Buckingham Palace was a Georgian build. Windsor Castle dates back to the It's old, like really old.
I love the fact we can drive down the motorway and just see the castle. But you can only visit.
I don't know. I try to avoid going to Slough. So, because it's near Slough. It's near Heathrow.
Yeah,
anyway.
Windsor. You can actually only go to Windsor at a certain amount of time a year because she's living there. They only do like odd open days, which sucks because I'd love to go there and see where she is.
Let's think about Windsor as Legoland.
Never been to Legoland.
I have.
So would you go? Go then.
Here's a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I'm going to ask it to those that are sitting in the chat as well. When you go investigate a place that they traditionally spoke a different language, why do you understand the EVPs that come in? Why are they in language that we understand? I don't speak anything but English. to a location where they spoke Hungarian or whatever, and I get English EVPs.
We've had EVPs come through in Latin before.
We've had accents.
We've had very, very strong accents.
We've had accents, but it's all been English.
It has.
I don't know. That is a good question. Maybe when you die, everyone speaks English.
Well, no, I guess that when you pass away, because like we've come in contact with Roman spirits and they speak
Latin.
I mean, he was naked, apart from flip flops. But
The spirit. The guy.
the spirit of this Roman guy was naked. He had flip flops on. He had no clue what I was saying, and I had no clue what he was saying. So I guess they were only talking to the English ones, because I've never really thought about learning another language.
I mean, we've never been to a location apart from that where there would be foreign people there. And even if we are investing in a location like in the UK, for example, and say there was French prisoners of war from the Napoleonic era, they could still probably learn English or something. I don't know. It's that's the problem. We don't go to locations where there's going to be different languages. Everyone's just going to speak English.
Okay, hang on. Daryl, our other bestie, he's had German and French before.
Nova have had
That's Laurie.
Laurie, her grandmother came to her and spoke fluent German.
But I had no idea. She had no idea anything she said.
I think I got an EVP at a friend's house that had a Polish accent.
You see, and Ryan and I have investigated Henricus Historical Park, and we've got the Native Americans that were speaking Algonquin.
There we go.
Damn thing they said, but here's the question. How do we know they're answering us and it's not just residual, their own? And by the way, Lori is a he, not she.
All right, sorry.
I thought when you said. That's what I thought.
Well, I'm in school with a girl named. In fact, I'm in a school with two girls named Laurie. So, oh, okay. Okay. He doesn't speak German, but he doesn't speak German, but he understood everything that she said.
Lori is she.
He's a she.
My bad.
Told you.
What the fuck?
I told. It is a girl. I am.
Who are you thinking of? In the UK, a lorry is a truck. Just, you know.
I knew I was right. So, yeah, I mean, I think people should try and ask questions in another language. I mean, there's enough apps out there for you to be able to write a question down and ask in another language, I suppose. I guess it's laziness on the investigator's part.
Yeah, it's hard enough to understand the answers in English. Imagine trying to understand them in a different language.
Yeah, but it is true. I guess that if they said another language, some people would just skip over it. Because they're
I'd still put it out there, but I'd be like, I don't know what the fuck it says. But
a
here,
lot of people are like, that's fucking gibberish.
The
when
thing
it's
is,
another language.
we have had. I've seen mediums on TV talking about the fact that obviously some spirits they talk to are foreign, but they say that for some reason they can understand them, and I think that's down to how they communicate spiritually with spirits.
It's different. It
like,
really is different. I mean, I'm spoken to spirits that aren't from England and are foreign and stuff, but it's different because the communication that you have with the spirit is you're not talking to them like I'm talking to you guys now. It's not like that. It's totally different. So you do understand each other, but I think that's also part of what your guidance is.
Because some mediums communicate with spirits through images, things like that rather than words, don't they?
Yeah, sometimes I do. I mean, it's easy for spirits that don't talk English to show you imagery, but even then it gets confusing. That's what your guide's for. So I guess mediums can understand them because it's a form of communication. It's not as if you're standing there chatting to someone. If that makes sense.
Well, we talk about communication.
Come in the room.
Rihanna came in here.
Hello.
They say hi. Yeah.
Hello.
But you're talking about communication. Going back to the 360 house, we were using the spirit box over there, and we were there with Carissa Fleck last summer, and we left the spirit box running, and they had a whole conversation going on a spirit box where we were sitting outside smoking a cigarette, and we were able to capture it, part of it, and we got a voice that said, "I killed her," and you get two females saying, "That bitch was horny, that bitch was dirty."
I've heard that.
We've heard that. That is incredible. I still don't quite understand why they're saying that. Because the person that killed Melissa is still in prison.
Still alive. That's confusing.
So that's why I think there's an energy about it.
Yeah.
Like you said, I mean, I try to refrain from using this word, like demonic. I mean, I'm not saying that it's actually a demon, but I mean, to me, demonic.
It could just be a really, really, really dark spirit.
To me, demonic is a word to describe a spirit that's a bit of
asshole.
A bit of a dick.
I mean,
You
like a really nasty spirit.
Dude, you get the C-bomb.
I nearly said next Tuesday.
it could have been the energy that made the brother kill Melissa. That made Randy kill Melissa.
Well,
Have you managed to find out any more information about? Was it Randy?
Yeah. He is Randy, yeah.
I love that name. Have you managed to find out any more sort of information about his background? Things like that?
I'll let Dennis take this one.
we don't have anything on his past. I mean, the only thing I know about him is from the time the news articles came out for the case, and after that for just the duration of the news coverage on this case. You know, anything else that he's done, the only thing I know is he's still in Lunenburg prison here in Virginia. He's serving his life sentence without chance of parole. Hi, Cheryl. So,
Hi, Cheryl.
Cheryl.
yeah, I mean, I don't know what type of kid he was prior to this. I don't know what type of individual or inmate he's been after this. Do an EVP session one night where I did ask, are you the energy, or actual wording was, are you the dark energy that caused Randy to murder Melissa? And the response that I got back was a very deep, gruff voice that said yes.
It's interesting. Have you guys ever considered maybe contacting him?
We've thought about
I
it.
have considered it. However, it's
Yeah.
it's a little tricky. I have to actually, in order to with him or to go visit him, I actually have to write him a letter, ask for his permission, and ask for him to put me on the guest list. And then I have to travel. If I'm right, it's about 3.5 to 4 hours away. But I don't know that I actually want to sit across the table from somebody with that type of a past. And Lori, I believe after he escaped Central State Mental Asylum, 3 days before he turned himself back in.
Oh, so he has actually escaped.
Well, when he was 17, right after he was brought back from North Carolina, he was committed to Central State Mental Institution while everything was going on. They wanted to see if he was competent to stand trial. The other juveniles escaped Central State Asylum and working in the laundry and simply slipped out the back door, him and 3 others. 2 of the 4 were captured the next day, and he and 1 other were gone for, it was either 2 or 3 days, I believe. And that's a good possibility. The dark energy that's there is either formed or made worse because of what he did. Now, here's my thought, though.
How old?
In the location with all the battle and everything else, could all of that tragedy have created or opened the doorway, so to speak, for this little dark energy to come through, and it just fed on him?
Yeah, I mean,
That
dark
it.
are known if somebody's slightly unstable to attack them. So
that voice we heard on the spirit box, that could have been the spirit saying, "I killed her. I made Randy do that."
yeah, I mean, dark energies do attach to people with that are slightly unhinged, should we say, and it's quite a possibility that it was formed and it's never been or anything. It was formed because of a tragedy and the trauma and stuff that's happened in that land. And it's just attached to him and made it a thousand times worse so it can feed off of his negative energy and what he's putting into the atmosphere, therefore making it stronger. That's quite common.
Have you guys ever had any poltergeist activity there?
Have we ever had what?
Poltergeist activity. I don't think so.
I don't know. We had the front door deadbolt and lock us in one night.
That's true. And we've had the front door open by itself in the log cabin.
Yeah, the front door opened and closed by itself in the log cabin. Well, Ryan, what about the lollipop that we placed in the basement? I can't explain that.
Oh, yeah. We took a sucker, one of those big round lollipops you get at the store, and we left it half eaten in the basement. We come back, I don't know, like 3 days later, maybe a week or 3 or 4 days later, and it's gone. It's completely gone. There's no trail of sugar. There's no puddle. There's no sticky mess next to it like you would see if it melted. It's just disappeared.
Was the stick left?
There was stick. The stick was there, but there was no sign of the candy.
What about
the door was locked?
What about a rat or something?
No signs at all of rodents.
They would have left something there, you would think. And there were no real.
There's no signs of rodents. There's nowhere, in the basement, and it's just a smooth concrete floor. So, and this is the I don't know what, 4 or 5 inch round suckers about that big. It's all colorful and hand twisted and so forth. There was no coloration, no staining on the floor.
There are actually pictures
where it was left.
There are pictures of the stick on the Facebook page if anybody wants to go check it out. We left a pink balloon in the middle of the floor in the basement. A week later, it had probably less than a week later, we went downstairs and it had popped. And every other balloon that we lived down there, it gradually decreases in air, but never really pops unless, we kick it or something like that.
She's obviously playing, and that's a really good thing to do for a child spirit. Mm-hmm. Andy, we do it all the time.
It wasn't that young.
No, but she's still a child at the end of the day. She's 12, she's still a kid. And I'm pretty sure that everyone loves candy no matter how old you get.
Doesn't like pink balloons, apparently.
Doesn't like them.
Nope.
Bless her.
Of course, I mean, if it's a dark energy, you putting a pink balloon down there, he probably thinks we're taunting him, and was popping it.
Or he's popping it to upset her.
Yeah, probably.
I mean,
And we've had,
no one Dennis.
you know, in the log cabin, we've had numerous occasions of heavy footprints, or footsteps rather. It sounds like somebody is walking up and down the hallway upstairs. We've had some rather loud bangs go on in the house that we can't explain.
We've had that mystery. We had that mystery puff of smoke.
Yeah.
Remember that?
One,
I remember that.
I have no idea.
I remember that because straight away you were like, I've got to tell you this. So tell us about what you guys are doing for the Evergreen Cemetery.
Well, the end of April, April 29th, we're putting on a paranormal investigation at the log cabin. $20 a person to come investigate from 6 to midnight, and all proceeds go to buy flags to place at Evergreen Cemetery. Evergreen is a African American cemetery in Richmond, the Richmond area that's been largely forgotten, overgrown. Dennis and I go out every Memorial Day and Veterans Day. We place flags by the veterans who served our country. I think Dennis can do a better job of describing the history of Evergreen than I can. But like I said, the event is on the 29th, $20 a person, and we just, like I said, all the money we get, we don't keep any of it. It's all going towards the flags.
Dennis, tell us a bit more about it, because Ryan wants to do the show.
All right. Well, Evergreen Cemetery was established in 1897. There's roughly 168 total acres of cemeteries combined, and there's over 5,000 burials at Evergreen alone. 16 acres of that 168 is called Easton Cemetery. There are, well, back in the like 1910s to 1930s, even during the Depression era, most of the wealthy people, African American race in the Richmond area, lived in Church Hill. It was known as the Wall Street of the South. Buried in Evergreen Cemetery because they weren't welcome. Hollywood Cemetery, which is very well known. So, of the 5,000 burials that are in Evergreen, I would say roughly visible right now in an area that gets maintained. In the woods, very much so overgrown. Between all of there's actually 4 cemeteries there, like I said. Between all of them, we place roughly 200 flags now. No respect for our military that are buried there. This is how sad the situation is. There are 5 Veterans Administration bird headstones that are leaned up against one tree just inside the cemetery. They're all 5 leaned up against that tree because they don't know where the actual burial site for the respective dead is. So it typically takes Ryan and I anywhere between 2 and 4 hours to walk the entire location and place flags beside all of the military headstones that we're able to find. It's something that somebody all along should have been doing, is paying respect to our military dead. The oldest one that I know of that's there is a Spanish, well, no, I take that back. I was just told this past Saturday of a USCT, which is United States Colored Troops, soldier that's there. I have to find his headstone next. But there is also a Spanish-American War veteran in there. And they deserve a flag. They deserve recognition for our country and trying to defend our country. So that's what Ron and I do.
Just out of interest, I think it's the same as what they are here. Because obviously in the UK, if there's a war grave, so to speak, the headstone is usually about 2 foot tall and about a foot wide, and it's like a whitish colour. So basically, it's not very tall and it's quite thin. Is that similar to the headstones in America for soldiers?
Similar. The governmental specs on it are 18 inches wide, 43 inches tall. They're approximately 350 pounds with a semicircle top. And 4 inches below the top is a circle with a cross in it. It bears the veteran's name, rank, branch of service, and theater of war if he was in an active war location.
I'll just share a link with you. I think it's. I mean, I've been to like France and Belgium and stuff to look at the war grave World War I. I've been to a place where there's literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these headstones. And not only are there hundreds and hundreds of headstones, there's a wall, like a semicircle going around the top of the cemetery, and that wall has the names of soldiers on who do not have graves. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy. Seeing all these headstones, people that have died in a single war, mental. And that's just one. Cemetery.
It makes you think.
There's other places where you have soldiers' names on the wall. I mean, there's a place called Ypres. There is the old main gate entrance into the city or town, whatever you want to call it, which is again covered in names. And there's other monuments scattered all around Belgium and France. Again, just named soldiers on them. It's crazy. I mean, I don't think people quite realise how many people lose their lives.
It's difficult because I mean it's hard to put into like words the loss of life, especially in Europe during World War I and World War II. I mean, over here it's just numbers, so it's hard to really wrap your mind around how many lives that actually is.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking.
I mean, I'm sure Dennis will know this. How many Americans died in the Civil War?
Total in the Civil War was over 600,000, I believe.
Which is crazy.
I mean, as a lot of our fans know, military is something that we hold very close to our hearts. And it is really heartbreaking that there are so many soldiers out there that have passed away and died during battle or been lost during battle that never get any recognition. They're just forgotten and lost. And what you guys are doing is amazing because it just brings back life and it reminds people that people still remember them, even if it's only the odd few of us that sit down and really, really remember everyone. It just reminds everyone that, you know, they did so much for us and it's about time that people started to help them and started to actually recognise everything.
And with these, you have to remind me of the names of the battles because I have a bad memory. With the battles that took place near to the 360 houses and on the site, how many soldiers would have possibly lost their life or been missing in battle? in battle?
I think Dennis just answered that.
Nope. Yeah, within a mile and a half of the 360 houses, documentation that I found so far shows 2,264 men either lost their lives, were wounded, captured, or just went missing. So 2,264 men.
Have you guys
within a 3 mile?
maybe put in something like a little monument or something at the grounds of the log cabins if we realise that that's what happened there?
Well, at some point, I'll figure out some way to that honors those men. It's just a matter of what do you put that honors what they gave. I mean, these men knew they were going to die. What's worthy? But I did do a real quick poll from Google. Roughly 2% of the population, an estimated 620,000 men, gave their lives in the line of duty during the Civil War.
And was it in terms of the battle that took place on the 360 site? Where were the lines? Like where were the Confederate soldiers and where were the Union soldiers in terms of where the 360 houses are?
You mean as far as how far away from the 360 houses are they buried, or did they fight?
In the battle itself.
They were actually battling right on the land. Literally a stone's throw away, about 1,000 to 1,500 feet away, was Bethesda Church structure for the Confederacy in that area. They actually left there, came out towards the east, went north, which put them going directly across the 7.2 acres that the 360 houses sit on, the Union lines to the north. Well, that was on May 28. On June 4, the map shows everything shifted east. There were 5 companies of Union soldiers a quarter of a mile east or west of the 360 properties. There were 7 companies of Confederate soldiers that charged them from the west and pushed them east, across the land that the 360 houses sit on, where they then turned and went south to head towards Berkeley Plantation, Westover Plantation. At Berkeley Plantation, General George McClellan had 40,000 men stationed, all Union, that were building the pontoon bridge across the James River to attack Petersburg, so they could then attack Richmond from the south.
And what's currently on the battlefield now to you? Is it just more housing, or?
The battlefield there at Bethesda Church, there is nothing. There is a historic marker just up the road from it, a mention of it, but that's about the extent of it. Like I said, as the crow flies, about 3.5 miles away is Gaines Mill and Cold Harbor that are much now under the Federal Parks Division as protected battlefields. However, the battles that took place right on the land that the 360s are at, over the years, that's fallen into private hands. It's been used as farmland. It's been used as well, the 360 property is the furthest back I've searched anyway, because I didn't bother searching any further. I was more interested in when Melissa was killed, because at that time we didn't even have a name for the victim. We didn't have a name for the assailant. So all we knew was that there had been a rape and a murder in the house, behind the property. So I stopped my search when I found the owners just prior to Jones Construction, who owns it now. But it was part of a parcel of land that was purchased by Mr. Gold. When Mr. Gold passed away, he passed it on to his wife. She parted out the 7.2 acres, forgive me, that Jones Construction purchased. So I've done a little bit of research.
So, if things want to hire out your amazing location, tell them how much it is, hours and stuff like that. This is time for you guys to promote your location and yourselves.
It's $100 for Friday nights, $150 for Saturday nights, $200 for the weekend. You'll get to investigate from 6 to 9 o'clock in the morning. Investigate the log cabin and the land itself. Now we talk mostly about the houses, but the woods and the land, the woods behind the houses are actually really active as well. There have been reports of musket fire being heard out there. Dennis and I have sat on the front porch of the log cabin and have heard a residual cannon fire. When Dennis comes back, he can tell you about the time they were out in the woods with Twisted, and they heard a scream that sounded like a pterodactyl.
That would shit me up.
Are you sure there wasn't a pterodactyl there?
I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
Dennis, tell us about
Well, the night that Twisted was out doing their filming for the Twisted Realm, myself, Tana Lotz, and Donald Monar, who are from Twisted, and one of my team members, Jeremy, who was running the camera for them, the four of us were standing in the woods. I had been told just that day of a young lady that got hit in the head the weekend before from one of the groups that we had brought through. So I asked the question, I understand somebody here got hit in the head last weekend. Can you tell me who did that? What's your name? And there was this real high-pitched, it carried on for almost a full, probably second and a half, 2 seconds. And all four of us looked at each other, and I know at least three of us went, "What the fuck was that?" It shook us. I heard disembodied voices, and you always have that, "What was that?" But this one was something so loud, and it sounded like it was right on top of us. When Don reviewed his recorder, you can hear a very loud voice screams back right after my question. It is, "Get out!" I have no other way to explain it other than, holy shit, that was awesome.
So where can everybody find you?
Not personally.
Not personally, they're not going to start stalking people.
If they want to contact you for a 360 investigation, where do they contact you? Ryan.
By no means, I'm easy to find. Look up Dennis Estlock, ESTLOCK. You'll find me on Facebook. Look up the cabin on 360. Give the page a like.
Links will be in the description below, as always, guys.
And look up Ryan C. Jones on Facebook. I'm always around.
Ryan, you run your Freaking Awesome Paranormal show, so that's another way people can get in contact with you.
Yeah, I hosted the Freaking Awesome Paranormal show on the Vibe Radio Network every Monday night from 10 to 11.
All right, stop plugging your show. All right.
No, I'm plug away, baby.
But yeah, they can find the Freaking Awesome Paranormal show on Facebook, as well as the Vibe Network, which is part of, which is another way for them to contact you.
We're part of it. Love you,
Pretty
Colin.
Freaking Awesome Paranormal also has a Twitter account, don't you?
Yep.
What's your Twitter account, Ryan?
Do what?
What's your Twitter account, Ryan?
At what?
Let's get Freaky 10. That's my Twitter account, and that's the show Twitter account as well.
So everyone can stalk you guys.
Exactly. You can
Is there a
you can stalk me. I'll stalk you.
Is there a 360?
It'll be a big stalk fest.
There'll be a 360 YouTube starting up, which I'm helping you out with. So
Yes. And remember,
That's happening.
this still counts because Ryan's part of it. Living Paranormal magazine is out on Monday, the 24th of April. What are you doing?
Oh yeah.
my knee hurts. I'm reading the chat.
Okay. So yeah, issue number 2 of Living Paranormal magazine is out on Monday. Ryan has written about the Exchange Hotel, which was a civil war hospital.
Even though it took him ages because he had writer's block, didn't you, babe?
Yeah, he had writer's block.
Yeah. No, I managed to finish the article. I was really proud of myself, but I managed to get it done.
It's a lot better than the
I actually used one of Dennis's stories in the article, so I'll give him a shout out.
But you can read. Stop being weird.
Someone would whoop. I've got wood with black.
Okay.
I'm a bitch, dude.
I am a bit. I'm a nice bit.
Nice bitch.
And in our first issue for Living Paranormal magazine,
Living what?
Living Paranormal magazine,
Living Paranormal.
Ryan actually wrote about the 360 houses. So if you go on our website www.livingparanormalmagazine.com and click on the menu, click on issues, you can download or just read it online. You can read our magazine. You can read about the 360 houses in that. So yeah,
There's also an update on the 360 houses, isn't there?
Yeah, Ryan, you found Melissa's gravesite and death certificate. Is that right?
Well, I mean, I personally did not find it, but we did discover, or was it who?
Lori's team actually sent that to us.
Yeah.
Which is good because
Laurie's helped out with a lot of stuff.
yeah, which is good because that's
We still want you guys on. You don't have a choice. Sorry.
So I forgot what I was going to say now anyway.
We did find out that Melissa is buried in Oklahoma.
Is she?
Yes.
How far away?
I guess Lori's team found that out, not us. They did some great research, and we certainly appreciate all the help given us.
You know why she's buried in Oklahoma? Was she a fan of the musical?
That's what it is. Yes, she loved the musical so much she had to be buried there.
Yeah.
And I think her family's military, and she moved around a lot. She was born in Colorado. And then I guess she ended up in Richmond, and then maybe she has family in Oklahoma. I don't know the history of it, but
We've actually taken a picture of the magazine to her.
Yes, we have.
sweet.
Yeah, I mean, this needs to sort of round things up now because it's like sort of end of our show. She's playing Tetris.
I'm not.
Yes, she is.
I'm not.
Playing Tetris.
Nice.
Tetris.
Yes, she is. Yes.
She's not playing Candy Crush.
Fuck Candy Crush.
Hey, I'm addicted to Candy Crush Soda Saga. I've been like, that kills me.
Ryan, seriously. I hate Candy Crush.
Yeah.
I can't. Because I know if I play it, I'm going to get stuck playing it for 7 years, and I'm like, it's not happening.
It's frustrating as fuck. I've been on the same stage for like about a month now.
So, me and Ryan are so similar. That's why I don't play stuff.
It's been great having both of you guys on.
I stay on so I can finish you after.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
And yeah, what's the information on the house?
Link to it.
It's the Facebook.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great location. You don't just need these guys to tell you that. Just ask people that investigate it. They'll tell you themselves. I mean, we've experienced it over Skype. So that was incredible. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys.
We need you guys.
Thank you, guys.
Yes.
We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So, links in the description below.
Someone definitely has, because I hear everything she's saying.
There you go.
But it might just be weird. Anyway, thanks for tuning in,
Thanks,
guys.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
I don't know why I did
Go ahead.